So here's a little presentation on the karma of life era. So karma seems to be discrete by life era. So the karma of childhood, karma of being a teenager, the karma of being an adult, and the karma of old age, they all sort of stand somewhat separate. They interact in a certain sense, but they're also kind of separate in some respects. Some children have sick child karma. That's a karma type, a child karma type as it is. And they're generally sickly. They're getting sick all the time. Can't believe how sick they get. They get one disease after another. And then, at some point, puberty hits and they transition from a sick child to a really strong child, a strong young woman here featured. And so different karmas seem to kick into gear as we go through different life stages. Also, different karmas seem to affect us at different times or eras of our life in general. So it's good to understand when you're looking at a person, if you can see different karmas that are impressing them in terms of what life era they're in too. The karmas of childhood can be so very different than the karmas of middle age. Here's the dude getting fired. The pressures of middle age are really quite strong. As the karmas of old age are another thing altogether. Senility, dementia, becoming blind or deaf, becoming maimed from falls or strokes. Chronic diseases kick in, of course, diabetes, location restriction, isolation, widowhood, either widower or widow, cognitive failures like depression, financial distress because of the lack of income, loss of fortune karma, where people end up losing everything, and they end up becoming institutionally dependent or put in an old folks' home, destiny, despair, all kinds of other conditions seem to arise in old age that don't have anything to do with middle age or childhood. The child karma types are mostly so different from old age karma types such as rejected child, ignored child, unwanted child, lonely child, shamed child, abandoned child, disrespected child, sick child, angry child, malformed child, unloved child, guilty child, disappointed child, bullied child karma, on and on and on. So child karmas are much different than the karmas of middle age and old age. I'm not saying that some people don't get bullied when they're old or in middle age, but quite a few. The karmas of midlife are much different from old age, and sacrificial father or mother, victim of trauma of losing your job or position, marital failures of all sorts, divorce, romantic karma, sexual failure, failed obligation fulfillment, unwanted husband, unwanted wife, failed mother, failed protective mother, failed father, failed protective father, failed career developer, failed provider father, failed provider mother, failed family provider, failed self-caretaker. And then there's also addiction and destiny despair, which seems to rake through nearly everyone at every stage of life. So life era karmas may overlap and they affect each other, but they're also discrete or tend to kick in when certain life eras come into play. And they have to be considered in every general karma examination. You have to look at all these. It's a deep thought about all of this. Okay.